cultural comparison presentation. My name is Arlette Philogene, and I will be presenting on Marriott International, and Lauren will be presenting on Hilton Hotel. So, you may be wondering why we chose Hilton. Well, we chose Hilton for two reasons. And number one are Marriott's unique values and culture, which we'll discuss later. And two, its rich history within the state of Maryland and Virginia. One of the first Marriotts was started in 1927 in Arlington, Virginia. It had about 365 rooms. So that's one of the reasons I chose Marriott. Marriott also has its corporate offices in Bethesda. So let's talk about the goals. Well, the goals of this project are to inform you all on the values and the culture of Marriott, and to also show what separates Marriott from other lodging organizations. In this project, I will be using data from videos, blogs, annual reports, Twitter, the company's newsroom, and the company documents. So, I will be discussing the functionalist, interpretivist, and critical approaches in this analysis. So let's first talk about the functionalist approach. Marriott has tons of brands, and there's a specific way that they brand their organization. And you do branding through the blog that they have, which is managed and written by CEO Bill Marriott, their Flickr page, their Twitter page, and different other social media avenues. Through this, we can see that Marriott is really based upon informing its public and always keeping them aware of what's going on in their organization. For instance, if we talk about Hilton, if you are interested in financial information, stock information, you would not be able to find that type of information on their site. However, with Marriott, you can find it immediately through their site. You can find lots of information, extensive information about what they are doing and how they are contributing to their environments. So, let's talk about their values and the interpretive approach. Marriott is based on the spirit to serve. Serve stands for shelter and food, environment, readiness for hotel careers, and embracing global diversity and inclusion. And I use this motto as a framework to really develop an understanding of what the organization was doing and if it was meeting the needs of its public. So let's talk about S, which is shelter and food. Every year, Marriott has a day which is centered around giving to the community, whether it's building houses, feeding the poor. They have a day like this specifically for each year. And this past year, their Shelter and Food Day was on March 2010. Let's talk about the environment, E. In 2008, Marriott pledged $2 million in corporate funding to help preserve 1.4 million acres of rainforest in the Juma Reserve in the state of Amazon's Brazil. And in 2010, Marriott launched Nobility of Nature, a $500,000 commitment to protect the source of fresh water for more than 2 billion people in Asia. Let's talk about readiness for hotel careers. There wasn't too much information that I found exactly on getting into a management position. What I did see is that they did offer management internships for university students. So what I am assuming from this is that they hire internally for management positions. Vitality for children, V. For over 25 years, Marriott has partnered with Children's Miracle Network to raise more than $66 million for local children's hospitals. And lastly, embracing global diversity and inclusion. Diversity was based on the website, statistical data, photos, and videos that we found. And it's clear that they make a strong effort to have partnerships with minorities. They have a program called Diversity Ownership Program, where they make sure they try to assist minorities in owning hotels. Currently, there are 3 minority owners, 2 African American and 1 Hispanic. The workplace. The workplace is one of the most diverse workplaces there are. There are 137,000 people that work in Marriott, and there's 50 languages that are spoken by its people. Suppliers. Last year alone, Marriott spent nearly $480 million on diverse employer suppliers. Recognition. Another great way to determine whether the organization is really doing what it's supposed to be doing is based upon if they are getting any rewards or any awards or any type of recognition, and Marriott has received many of these. They have received the Black Enterprise Award for 40 Best Companies for Diversity for the 6th consecutive year. In the same year, Marriott was ranked 4th on India's top 25 companies to work for list. And Working Mothers ranked Marriott International among the best companies for hourly workers. Using the acronym SERVE as a measuring stick, it is clear the organization focuses on facilitating and maintaining good relationships with its public. For instance, let's talk about customer reviews as well. I found good and bad reviews, which is quite normal for a hotel organization like Marriott. It also has received endorsements from the National Black MBA Association, the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, Kappa Alpha Psi, and Duke Ellington School of the Arts. From the interpretivist approach, the organization meets its goals and is very committed to serving the wider community. However, Hilton was more focused on meeting those financial goals. Let's take a look at the critical approach. The dominant views at Marriott are those held by upper management. However, the organization has not been strained by this by any means. Marriott management keeps close communications with its employees in order to decrease the likelihood an event that would kind of hurt the image of Marriott. However, Hilton is not the same way because they have had some strikes within the past years. So let's talk about recommendations and conclusions that I've come up with from this analysis. One of the lessons that I have learned is that when you take care of your community will take care of you. Marriott uses its Spirit to Serve motto as a public relations strategy which increases its business and image in the community. So, what recommendations do I have for stakeholders? Well, one, I think it's very important to have anonymous employee suggestions, which is always important in any organization, to find out what people are thinking about your organization. Secondly, keeping diversity statistics up to date. The website is not very consistent with information dealing with statistics. Some of the latest data that I have seen is from 2008. So I'm wondering, are there any increases or improvement in diversity? And I'm sure other publics would like to know that. 5. Employee lunches and gatherings. I think it's very important that management team up with regular employees to kind of learn more about them and try to understand them, not as employees, but rather as mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers, to really understand who they are. And this will improve their effectiveness and their efficiency in the workplace. Monthly management meetings are my last recommendation. I believe in order to have a strong workplace, upper management and middle management must see eye to eye. It's very important to have monthly or bi-weekly meetings with different people within management to really understand what's going on, how the organization is functioning day by day, week by week, and this will prove to be an effective way to measure what the organization needs to do to improve. That is what I have to say about Marriott and the cultural comparison for that. And Lauren will be talking about Hilton Hotel. Here you go, Lauren.